Page 12, My Electric Car. This is the first lesson in this book that I'm giving. I like to give lessons when they present actual written music. You have a staff and notes and the whole bit. Before this in the book, they're giving you the notes and you can learn them. You go through there if you want and learn the notes. I'll leave that up to you. If you have questions, you're welcome to ask. But I want to talk about everything with the music. I kind of do it all at once. Everybody learns a little different. There's nothing wrong with trying to get the notes down first or whatever. I want to do the music. It's really important that you understand all these symbols in the music. And there's a lot of them. We don't need to know them all right now. We did a few. I'm going to talk about a few, and I'll present more and more and more as we go through these books. I do most of that teaching in the method book one. So if you're going through the method book one, you're going to hear it all over again because I'll present it again here also. Again here also. That didn't make any sense. Let's talk about My Electric Car here and see what's going on. You have these 5 lines, a group of 5 lines, and there's 2 groups of 5 lines. A group of 5 lines is called a staff. And there's 2 staffs, and they're hooked together with these vertical bar line, the vertical lines that go through both of them. When it does that, when it connects them like that, it means you're going to play the stuff in both staves at the same time. So you have to learn to read both staves at the same time. Don't worry about it, we'll get there. Right now, you only get notes in one staff at a time, so it doesn't matter. You'll see there's what we call 2 lines of music. The first line is 2 staves connected with a vertical bar. That's 1 line. And then there's another line underneath that. So it's a total of 2 lines of music, even though there's 4 staves on here. But they come in pairs, so it's okay. Because I talk about line, 3rd line, 4th line, whatever it is, line we're in, you need to understand what a line is. At the beginning of each line in the staves, you get these weird-looking symbols. The top staff has that weird-looking thingy. It looks like this. It's called a treble clef or a G clef. Either one could be known as either one. Most of the time we call it a treble clef. And the one in the bottom staff looks like that. That's called a bass clef or F clef. Most of the time we call it a bass clef. Then after that we get some numbers, the 4/4. That tells us about the rhythm, how to count it and all that. And then after that we get the notes throughout. And there's different kinds of notes. We'll talk about the different kinds of notes because you got to know what those are. And as far as which key you play on the piano, that depends on what the note is. Now the fingers are numbered. In the hands, fingers are numbered. I don't care which way we go. Thumb is 1, little finger is 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we need to know which finger to use to play which note. Look at the beginning of My Electric Car. Right above the first note, there's a little 5. That means 5th finger, which is the little finger. So if I put my little finger on that key on the piano, then I put the other fingers on the wherever. That's my hand position. Now these notes, just a little bit about the notes. These notes at first, with a solid circle in them, they're called quarter notes. It is a quarter note. At the end of the line, sort of, you'll see the notes like they look like quarter notes, but the circle is empty. It's a hollow circle with a stem. Those are called half notes. And then the ones with just a circle by itself are called whole notes. This is how we can tell how long to hold the notes down. Think of a whole thing. And if you cut the whole in half, you get 2 halves, half notes. See? And if you take a half note and cut it, you get 2 quarters, quarter notes. It just divides in 2. So you got a whole note, and then you got half notes, and then you got quarter notes. So the half notes are held twice as long as a quarter note because they're the same as 2 quarter notes. So you hold them down for the length of 2 quarter notes. The whole note is the same as 2 half notes or 4 quarter notes. So you hold a whole note down longer. That's how that works. Now, I'll come back to how long we hold them down in a minute. Let's tackle these notes. In music, we use the 7 letters of the alphabet, the first 7 letters, A through G. That's it. No matter what the letter key is, it's one of those letters. They're throwing 10 of them at you right now. I wish they wouldn't do that, but they're doing it, so okay, we'll do it. They show the chart there and tell you the letter names, where they go. There are videos on YouTube that can help you learn the names of the notes and the names of the notes and the music and all that. If you want to go search those out, you go right ahead. I don't see any point in repeating all the stuff they say. You go find it. I'm simply going to tell you your assignment is, should you choose to accept it, is learn these notes as soon as possible. May take a few weeks, whatever, to get them. Just take it a note or two at a time if you have to, but eventually you need to know the names of all these notes in the music, the letter names of them, and the keys on the piano. Let's talk about the piano for just a bit. The piano was arranged rather neatly. You have white and black keys. We're only going to deal with the white keys for now. Each key has a name, but there's only 7 of them because they keep repeating. Because you see a group of 2 and a group of 3, group of 2, group of 3. See, it repeats. And we use the black keys to tell us what the white keys are. And eventually, we're going to use the white keys to tell us what the black keys are. It just kind of goes in a circle. We'll get there later. So what we want to do is we want to learn the notes C through G, because that's the notes they're using here. C, D, E, F, G. Those are the 5 notes we're using. Well, briefly. A C, you find a group of 2 black keys, and a C is the bottom underneath them. So a group of 2 black keys, the bottom one. That's a C on a piano. Now there are a lot of C's on the piano. Here, 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 here. They're all over the place. Then the next one up, you just go up the alphabet. A D is in between 2 black keys. So we have a lot of D's. And an E is right above 2 black keys. E, lots of E's. F is right below 3 black keys. F. And a G, well, we have in a group of 3 black keys, we have 2 middle keys. So we have a lower middle and an upper middle. So I say it's a lower middle of the group of 3. Those are G's. So those are the 5 notes we're going to use first. C, D, E, F, G. Some people put stickers on their keyboard. If you need stickers, that's a personal thing. I never had stickers when I was little and growing up, and it's just up to you. Somehow you need to remember these 5 keys. We'll get to the other keys later. Let's get these keys down now. These 5 keys. So when you look at a key on a keyboard, you'll know instantly the name of the key. Its letter name. Okay, now in the music, where the note is on the staff, that tells you the name of the note. In my electric car, look at the 5th note over. It's underneath the staff. It's got a little line going through it. That note is middle C. It's a C, and we call it middle C. There's only one middle C in music. That's it. It's middle C because it's in the middle of the grand staff. I'll come back to that a little later. It's not middle C because it's in the middle of the keyboard. It's not in the middle of the keyboard. It's close, but it's not. And the middle C we're talking about is when you sit in the middle of the keyboard, you're going to have a C in front of you. That's it. So right here, when I'm sitting in front of the keyboard, this C, that's middle C. Well, we can figure out all the other notes based on that. If this is C, then that's the D. That's the next note up. That's the note right under the staff. E, that's the bottom line of the staff. F is the bottom space in the staff. And G is the next to the bottom line. They all go up. C, D, E, F, G, and you get them here. So when you see the note in the music, you play the key on the piano that goes to it. This first note they give you, the one with the 5 above it, that's the next to the bottom line, and that's a G. You just need to memorize that note is called G. And it is the key right above middle C. We have middle C here, and you play the G above it, which is here. That's a G. No other G will do. It's got to be that one. So when I see that note in the music, I play this key on the piano. The next note is an F. The next one is an E, the bottom line. D, C. Get the idea? In the second line, the notes are on the bottom staff or the bass clef. We're going to use the same letter names, C through G, except instead of these, we're down here. And the C, C, D, E, F, G, and that's what these notes are. The first note in the second line, that top space, that's a G here. And then an F, E, D, C. You get the idea? I typically, with my students, I would do a drill. A play it and say it drill. Until I was confident they knew the notes in the music instantly. We would do this over and over and over. Not for the whole lesson, of course, but for every lesson, when they came, we would do this drill until I was sure they knew the names of the notes. And that is where you simply play the note, you hear it, and you say the name of it. We want to associate what we hear with what we're doing. So in the first line, it doesn't matter what finger you use. You play the first note, G, say the name, and then F, E, D, C, D, E, F, G, G, G. And then in the second line, we do the same thing. G, F, E, D, C, D, E, F, E, D, C. Okay? And then we have this mess at the end. We got these two whole notes that are stuck together. Okay, they're in the top staff. So they're a D and an E. The first is a D. It's right under the staff. That's a D. That's this D. And that other one next to it is an E. It's the bottom line is an E. That's this one. And they're stuck together. Well, we're going to play them at the same time. You just lower the hand and play them. Sounds wonderful. I think that's supposed to sound like a horn. Okay, I need more coffee for that. So you do the play it and say it drill each day, a little bit. Each day, I'll spend a lot of time on it, but each day until these notes start getting automatic where you can just look at the note in the music, you just know the name of it. And you know which key it goes to. And as I said, there's other ways of learning to do this. You can go watch other videos to how to read music. Search on that and see what you come up with. Now, we got the notes. We know where they are on the keyboard. We know the names of the keys on the keyboard. Let's talk about how long to hold them down. We've already talked about it a little bit. The numbers at the beginning tell us that. They give us the information we need to know on how to count out the piece, or what the rhythm is. The numbers are going to be different from time to time, but they all work the same way. So if you understand how they work, it doesn't matter what the numbers are. The top number tells you how far to count, or how many beats are going to be in a measure. Oh, that's wonderful. So what's a measure? Well, you see these vertical lines going occasionally. You see them every once in a while. Those are called measure lines or bar lines, depending on what country you're from. Well, that space in between them, that's called a measure or a bar, depending on what country you're. I'm liable to call them either one. Who knows? I usually say bar line because it's easier to say bar than measure, and I'm lazy, so I take the easy route, bar. But that top number tells us how many counts are in a measure or a bar. So there's 4 of them. The bottom number tells us what we're counting. If you're going to count, it would be nice to know what you're counting. What note gets 1 count or 1 beat? And 4 stands for quarter note. So it simply means there is the same as 4 quarter notes in every measure, every bar. So we can test it out. Is it? Well, look at the first measure. I see 4 quarter notes. That works. That's it. And the next one is 4 quarter notes, and the next one's 2 half notes. Well, remember, a half note's the same as 2 quarter notes. So altogether, 2 half notes, that's the same as 4 quarter notes as far as counting goes. And the last one is a whole note, circle. Well, that's the same as 4 quarter notes, so that's it. Then in the second line, you see the same thing, and except the last 2 measures, when they have those 2 notes together, those ugly looking things. Well, when you play them at the same time, you count them at the same time. So even though I'm playing 2 notes here, I'm just counting to 4. It's as though I only played 1 note as far as counting goes. So I'm not going to count the first one and then count the second one. It's just 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It tells me how long to hold those down. So now we know how long to hold the notes down. The only last piece of the puzzle we need is which finger are we using to do what? Because I've just been using here. Hunt and peck, huh? Well, at the beginning you put the 5, little finger on the G here. And if I do that, I put the other fingers on the notes next to it here. That's my hand position. I can play all those notes in the first line right here because these are the notes we're playing. Now I got a finger on each one. So I can play them all here. So it's here. Okay. In the second line, there's the finger numbers are underneath the staff for the bottom staff, and it's a 1. A 1 remembers thumb. So I put the thumb here. That puts the hand here. That's my hand position for the left hand. And so I'm just going to use whichever finger is on that key to play that note. Okay. So now we know which fingers are playing which notes. We're just staying here. And they don't give you finger numbers on all the notes. They don't need to. Because, and this is important, you need to develop the memory, the habit of just knowing where your fingers are on the keyboard. You need to remember which key each finger is on. So if my little finger is on G, I know my next finger is on the F because it's next to it. I don't have to look down to see it. See, there are some people beginning, and there's nothing wrong with it, is they'll look down for every note. Say the first one at the beginning, that's a G. They'll look down at the keyboard, they'll see a G. Then they'll look back at the music, and they see an F next. Okay, so they look down at the keyboard to see the F. Then they'll see the next one, Z, and they'll look down. And they're doing this on every note. They look down on every note. We don't want to do that. Take my word for it. You want to know where your hands are, fingers are, so you want to get to where you can keep your eyes on the music and trust that you know where the fingers are and which finger is on which key. So you know when you need to play the F, the ring fingers on it, finger 4 is there, you can just do it. Don't write in finger numbers all the way across, please. Don't read finger numbers, read the notes. I've done some method books where they put finger numbers on every single note. I just want to smack them. What a terrible idea. Don't read finger numbers, read the notes. Because you're going to start moving around someday, and when you do, your fingers are all different, on different notes. Finger numbers are the same, but they're on different notes, is what I'm trying to say. So don't be getting into the habit of reading finger numbers. So on my electric car, we have, the hands are in position. You know what the notes are and how to play them and how long to play them. There's another symbol we need to know, and that is called a repeat sign. Look at the second line. It's toward the end of the line. It's like the end of the third measure from the end. There's a symbol. It looks like this. It's a thin and thick bar line with 2 dots. It's a repeat sign. That, for now, that means go back to the beginning and play the whole mess again. Play it again. That's why there's 2 sets of words. If you're going to sing it, you can sing it. I don't sing in my videos. They're hard enough as it is. But if you want to sing, you go ahead, and that's how you can sing both. You sing the first set of words, and then you go back and sing the second set. Then at the very end of the second line, you see the thin and thick bar line? That is the symbol for the end of a piece. It means the song or the piece is over. And it's not always going to be at the end. It might be somewhere else, but that's the symbol for it. It's just if you're going to write your own music by hand, at the end of the piece, make sure you put in a thin and thick bar line. Well, I've done a lot of talking. I've thrown a lot of stuff at you, and I don't expect you to remember it all right now because we're going to talk about it again and again and again. So let's see what we can do with this My Electric Car. When you go to play it, you've got your hands in position. You decide on how fast you go, and it's up to you. If you were going to sing it, how fast would you sing it? But nice and slow is good, but it needs to be a steady beat. No hesitations anywhere, a steady beat. And then you try and play the thing. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's basically how it would sound. Above the staff at the end there, they have last time only. That's a little misleading because you're only going to play those two measures once. There is no last time. What they mean is after you've repeated it, then you will do those two measures. That's what they're after. Because you only repeat things once unless the music, there's a note or something to tell you to keep repeating. If they had another set of words, like maybe there were 3 sets of words, you could go ahead and keep repeating for each set of words. But normally we only repeat one time. Now, make sure you can play this okay with no hesitations. And when you feel you're ready, come back to the video and let's play it together very slowly. This is so you can check. Are you playing the same note I'm playing when I play it? Because if you hit a wrong note, how do you know? Or if your rhythm or your counting is off, how do you know? Well, play it with me and you can check it. But learn it first. Don't learn it in the play with me section. Learn it first, because I put the starting point of the play with me section in the description of every video. You can go there and just do this part. So I'm going to give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. And that's based on the time signature. There's 4 beats in a measure. I'll give 4 counts. And let's play it together slowly. We're going to do the repeat the whole bit. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Repeat. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.